Welcome back, y'all, to the YBO podcast. I am your host, Austin Taylor, and this week we are doing something special, and we actually hope to do this a little bit more often, but it will be purely based off of each guy's schedule. But this week we have both Kendal and Matthew in the hot seat, and we kind of just sit around, talk a little bit, and kind of see where the conversation takes us. So we hope you enjoy it, and we hope we can do this more often. But until then, let's get into it. All right, what's up, everybody? We are back to the YBO podcast, and for this week's episode, we actually have Kendal and Matthew in the hot seat.
What's up, guys?
And so we're probably just gonna talk about some stories or experiences the three of us have had together, So
yeah,
Matthew, I guess you can take this one a little bit if you want.
We just went pheasant hunting. What was that? 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
It was 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
At the time of recording, yeah. Like by the time this comes out, it's gonna be a little bit longer.
Yeah. But
it was in early.
It is the weekend after Thanksgiving, I believe.
It was, yes.
Yeah,
that is
you're
true.
right.
So
right.
very end of November for us.
So we had. How many birds did you think we saw that day?
Ton, man.
Did I say this was pheasant hunting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pheasant
We went pheasant and quail hunting.
Mm-hmm.
We probably saw 4 hens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the one male
Rooster.
pheasant, the rooster. Thank you.
I thought we saw way more than that.
No, I think we saw just a. No, actually, no. Yeah, you're right. But I think we've decided.
We saw more on opening day. We saw more roosters on opening day, but we just saw the one rooster on that day.
Correct.
Yeah, we saw the one, but we kept hearing it.
Yeah.
If it was the same one.
We heard that one
Kept
rooster.
chuckling.
But then we had that covey of 30
quail.
30 or 40 quail, which busted all over the place. But to tell you guys, we only came away with 3 birds that hunt?
Yeah.
I got 2, and
This guy got 2,
1.
Matthew got 1.
Yeah. So what do you think,
Well, first, how many guys were on this line? We had 9 guys, right?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 9 guys, but...
And I think almost every single one of us shot.
Oh, I should have
easily...
I should have had at least 2 or 3.
It was painful.
I had one of my greatest shots ever that hunt, because this quail got up on the one side of the line and came clear over to me and was going sideways with the wind.
Those are hard shots, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest shot. But what do you guys think? Going back on that hunt, what do you guys think? If you what would you have changed? What would you have done differently to create a more successful hunt in that situation?
Biggest thing is just shooting better.
Shooting better.
Go shoot in the off season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about as far as what I'm trying to get at is how do you guys approach a field whenever you're pheasant hunting? Because I know we have in our farm we have 3 sections of CRP,
mm-hmm.
and then a section of pasture, which is almost CRP, but kind of...
It's not in the CRP category.
Exactly. And that's where we get a lot of the quail up from. So, my question for you is, would you have tried to go for those quail earlier? Because we kind of have a tendency to know where
the quail will be.
Where the quail will be out on our place. Where typically the quail stick in the pasture there. The north part of the pasture there, and then we kind of bust them and we scatter them all over the place. But would you guys have gone back and hit that first pasture very first thing? Or do you think that it's beneficial to hunt everything else and then kind of get birds up later.
Well, for me, real quick, I felt like our pushing of the quail was pretty decent because we scared up the covey and we freaking spooked it up like 2, 3, maybe 4 more times. Like we kept scaring up birds. Because we scared them up, they kind of went a certain direction, and we were all like, "All right, let's shift the line this way," and we followed the birds, and we just kept popping them up. We just couldn't shoot for a damn, which that obviously was a big thing, but
yeah.
I guess with quail hunting, it's probably not answering your question, Matthew, but I believe it's very important to give the quail time to regroup after flushing them.
After breaking the covey.
After breaking the covey up, I think it's important for obviously have time for them to regroup again because eventually they're going to regroup. Mm-hmm. They're not going to just have a single day for good. Yeah. They're always going to whistle at each other to locate one another and yeah, exactly. And eventually group up.
That was beautiful.
But your question as to going after the birds at the beginning, it's hard to tell because you don't know where the birds are going to be.
Yeah, you don't know exactly where. I feel like looking back at that hunt, I feel like we would have had more success if we would have broken it up earlier.
Yeah.
Because of the fact we walked we walked already a round or 2 before even getting into that bird.
Yeah.
Into all those birds.
And we're all getting tired.
Yeah, and I think that, there is a certain aspect of, there's a rejuvenation once you actually bust a covey and, like, especially of that size where, I mean, when it got up, I genuinely had no clue what was going on because there were birds going everywhere. Yeah. It's so hard because you hear of like, oh, you got to have a covey that large and you only got 3 out of it. Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, it's way easier to go bump singles all day long and have decent shots than bust a covey of that size and have no idea because there is that safety factor of like, you really, really, really need to know where you're shooting. Yeah. Especially with all those birds going all over the place. You get so flustered.
And especially with a large group, a couple will bust, and then you're focused on them, and all of a sudden, 3 more fly in the other direction. It catches your eye, and you're off those first ones you're looking at.
I can't tell you how many times, a single busted, and I shot at it, and then here comes 4 others, and I'm like, what is going on here? Now, because my gunshot just flushed this whole covey. And
I don't think it helps, too, is when you get coveys that large, everybody's almost to just shy of the point of you're stunned of like, oh my God, like what do I do?
Yeah, well,
it's not like it's a small covey that you're like, okay, there's my target. It's just like,
they're everywhere.
Son of a bitch, they keep flying by.
Yeah, yeah. There is that aspect of like, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, there's so many of them.
And I think that probably is what killed a lot of us was we all kind of somewhat we got caught in the holy crap moment and we didn't pull ourselves together quick enough to just start locking on the birds. But it also kind of didn't help too how stubborn the birds were being that day. Like the dogs were running pretty good, but they were running right past so many, and they would be like, the dogs would be way in front of us, and then boom, bird flew up right in front of us. We're like,
I didn't even
how did the dog not notice that?
Yeah,
there were so many birds that. There's all the hens. That's exactly what happened. They all busted after the dogs had moved by, and you're just kind of like, that hen held there the whole time.
That's one of the things for those of you who don't necessarily know a lot about pheasant or quail hunting is it helps tremendously when there is like moisture on the ground and in the air and stuff because that gives the scent of the bird. And I just remember it being so dry, especially opening day and stuff. And there was some dew on the ground in the morning and stuff, but it went away, and it kind of got to the point like where you were saying, where it's just, the dogs the dogs are struggling, and they can only do so much. They're working 4 times as hard as us. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine how much ground they cover. They probably cover 3 times as much at least.
Because they're constantly zigzagging back and forth.
Jake will go from one end of the group to the other. I mean, just Bella is more methodical.
Yeah.
Bella is like, she sits there and kind of like takes her time.
She's more
strategic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she uses her nose. Jake just he's just a bear. He just, here we come.
I like how you mentioned that with Jake though, because it's always funny going out with you guys and your dogs. Because like you say, Bella kind of just she locks on real fast, and then sometimes Jake comes in and we're all like, Jake, you freak of nature! Like he sees everything. Every other dog doesn't see a thing, and he sees it. But I think every single time I go out there, at one point or another, I hear somebody, I never pinpoint it, I just always hear somebody on the line say, "Where's Jake?" And everybody else is like, "He's down here." And then 2 seconds later, "Wait, where's Jake down here?" No, he's down here now. And you're like, God dang,
it's crazy. And that's one thing that, us having dogs, granted, we never took them to a special training academy. We never did, we did training with them ourselves, and they are, don't get me wrong, very good hunting dogs.
Oh, they're awesome,
They're perfect for us. They're perfect for us. But there are dogs out there that are they are just
like a heat seeker. They just target the bird.
Yeah, and they're incredible. They are incredible. I mean, I was talking with some of the guys who've hunted behind dogs at Flint Oak before. And it's just, though sometimes what they'll do is I was talking with one of the guys the other day, and they'll have like a day out at Flint Hills National Golf Course where they'll bring like the best of the best dogs in from Flint Oak, and they'll do like a demonstration for people out there to see like what they can do. And it is unbelievable what these dogs can do. They were saying they would have like 3 or 4 launchers, and they would launch one, the dog would go grab it. In the middle of going and grabbing it, they would launch another one and send the dog on that one. He would bring that one back and then have to go get this other one. In the middle of that one, then they would launch another one. And this dog was just working 4 birds and doing exactly what the trainer was telling them to do. And that's just crazy to my mind of like how dogs can do that and how they're so smart in that aspect. Because, I mean, even with our dogs, I cannot imagine hunting pheasant and quail without them.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we would lose 3/4 of our birds easily.
Yeah.
At least.
Well, hell, there was that one lab out this last time that your dogs actually couldn't find the birds once they were down, and that lab, went straight to it. Full on went retriever mode on that thing, and that was cool to watch. Which I love hearing some of the stories or seeing films or videos of duck hunters that go out with like great labs or retrieving dogs, and just listening to what these kind of dogs are like, I'm just like, God dang, man. I know. It's like those things will sit there, not move an ounce. They shoot, boom, 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 and tell them bird, but that, like, you watch the clips, and these dogs are staring at the birds like I'm just...
What's even more impressive with waterfowl dogs, I guess you'd say, is, let's say the dog can't find the bird, but the shooter knows exactly where that bird landed at. Yeah. And so the hunter will whistle, the dog will sit and look back at the hunter, and the hunter will point in the direction of where that bird is, and that dog goes straight towards it.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. I mean,
that's what I've discovered is part of the reason my dog can never be a hunting dog is, first, he's not always a great listener. He's a lot better now than when he was a pup, which, for everybody who doesn't know, I have a great black lab, but when I got him, all the guys were like, "Woo, we got another hunting dog, here we go." And I was like, guys, I don't know about this one, because he did not listen worth a damn. But he's a lot better now, but now, obviously, he's getting older. But dude, it's ridiculous. I'll like take his rope or I'll take some of his toys. I'll throw it if like we're out in the yard and he's running around, can't find it, and I'm like, Duke, boom, and I like point directly at it, and he like stares at me like, what are you trying to tell me, dude?
Yeah.
I'm like, turn around, you idiot. I'm pointing directly at it, and he just cannot put the two pieces together. Every time I've done that.
What's funny is my fiance and I actually took our dog to a dog park, and we threw a. So you guys might not know, but me and my fiance have a mini Aussie Doodle, and so it's literally
brand new.
Brand new. It's 5 months old. It's 5 pounds, and I threw a ball, and I did the same thing. She couldn't find it. And I pointed, and she went right to it. So, boys, we might have a dog.
Let's go on your one dog.
It'll be.
We will lose her in the field so fast.
She's coyote bait more
Yeah.
than a hunting dog.
You know, it'd be great though, is if we actually, by some joke, take her out there. She disappears in the grass. 2 seconds later, she comes running back with a pheasant in her mouth, which a pheasant's like
her size.
No, it's twice as big as her probably.
Oh my god!
And she comes running back with it. Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
She'd be our secret weapon. She'd just be like, all right, we'll sit at the truck. Go. Go, Wrigley.
There's so many dogs, though, nowadays that, I mean, there's so many different breeds of dogs, and by far the best dogs that I have come upon and read about and researched about and talked to people about are like a lab or a... Now, I'm talking all-around dogs. Mm-hmm. Upland, waterfowl, any kind of dog like that.
They do it all.
Yeah, and by far the best dogs are a German short hair or a lab. And that's what Jake and Bella are, is a German short hair.
Yeah.
And, I mean, granted, Bella, she'll get in the water, but, like, if she knows that Jake's the water dog. Mm-hmm. If Jake is in that water a second before she is...
She's like, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it, no worries.
Jake went after a goose in your lake that was halfway out there, and he went out there to retrieve it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you guys sent me that video, because I think I was like...
We have legitimately had to go get Jake in the middle of the lake before. Do you remember?
Yeah,
when
he would not give up.
He wouldn't. Wow. Yeah, and the goose was not.
It was still alive.
It was wounded, and so it was just like it would flap across, and beat him by another 10, 20 yards, and then Jake would just like keep swimming after him, and like, I mean, this is
scary.
This is the middle of the winter. I was like, this dog's been out there for 5-10 minutes easily, and I was like, guys, we got to go get this dog, because otherwise he's going to drown.
He's going to turn into a popsicle.
Yeah, exactly. And so we stupid us. We got in that freaking John boat and paddled across the lake.
I think I was watching you guys.
Oh my gosh, that was so dumb. Yeah, that was dumb.
I think we got the goose and the dog. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you did get the goose though?
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember it went in that cove? Yeah. And we had to go get it in that cove. But that's right. Man, having a dog while hunting though it's such a game changer. And I'm excited to see, Clayton's pup the past couple of years. He's just been a puppy,
Yeah.
And this year they've spent a lot of time training him and stuff. And I'm excited to see what, Jax can do.
Yeah. It sounds like they recently had a pretty good hunt.
Yeah.
And so
quite a bit of quail.
Yeah, Caleb posted about it. But is he German short hair?
Yeah.
I think he is.
I think he was same as your dog.
Same kind, but unfortunately she's just about on her last season. Mm-hmm. She'll either this may be her last season or maybe next year.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird not having her in the field.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But Jake.
But hey, she has a good retirement coming up, because she's a powerhouse dog.
She's put her work in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, she had parvo when she was younger, and I think that took
a couple
years off of her life. I mean, Jake is still a monster. He'll blow through anything. It don't matter for him. But like Bella, she's getting up there and she's slowing down, and afraid that we're gonna have to carry her out of the field one time, sometime. But
dogs, man,
we went
man's best friend for a reason.
I know. We went on. Well, I don't even think you guys probably weren't even around for this hunt. You guys weren't around for this hunt, but we had a hunt lined up with a ton of guys. I mean, it was a ton of guys and a ton of dogs. And this was opening day. Everybody's stoked. I mean, we probably had five or six dogs. And
just a couple.
Yeah. And it was horrendous because one dog went into the first field and one shot, she's gun shy. Lost her the rest of the time.
No. She was Bella?
No. This was Scott's
Okay.
dog. He knew that she was gun shy, but she had been acting fine around fireworks for the past couple of years, and so he was like, I'm gonna try. She was a pointer or something. He was like, I'm gonna try to take her out, and he took her out, and it was like one gunshot, boom, done.
Yeah.
And then Greg's old dog, Sage, threw her hip out.
Oh my God.
In the middle of the hunt and legit could not walk. So I remember, this was years ago, I remember Greg legit carrying the dog out in the bird bag. I look back and he's got this dog sprawled in the bird bag, just hauling through the field, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is bad. And then this was right when we got Jake and Bella, and Jake ended up getting a huge cut on his paw or something, which put him out. And then we had another Luke's dog, Lacey, I think it was at the time, got a huge cut as well on barbed wire. And she was out.
This is all in one hunt?
Yes, all in opening day. Opening day.
Gosh.
And I think Bella was legitimately the last one standing. So we did the last round with Bella. That was it. Just Bella. We were like, well, okay, here we go.
Wow.
And
how many birds did you get with her?
oh, I have no idea. I don't remember. But
did you get any? Do you know, or?
I think we did. I think we had a relatively successful hunt. We also were hunting walk-ins around Kingman. We didn't just hunt the farm. We hunted some walk-ins that opening day. But that's tough. When you have a dog go down like that, I mean, Jake even got cut pretty good the other day. But it's tough. Yeah. What do you do about it, though? I mean, they rebound. They're resilient.
And, I mean, you can tell those dogs just love doing it, too. I mean...
They still want to get after it.
Dude, you open up... I love every time we go out there, everybody knows it's game on because you guys open up the back of your car.
The back hatch.
Those dogs are gone. And it's like, all right, time to go. Load up.
Yep.
So...
They're the last ones to get ready.
Yeah.
Because we got to load up.
Yeah, so...
Oh, man.
Right on, man. Good old dogs, but... Alright, do we want to talk about anything else before we sign off on this episode?
I got nothing.
Yeah. I'm good.
Alright, well, thank you, boys. I'm glad we were able to pull a couple of us together for a nice little joint episode here, and
hopefully we can get everybody in here sometime.
Yeah, I mean...
that's a conference call.
It almost certainly will be.
Call.
It will almost certainly have to be a conference call or something. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Follow us, check us out on all of our social media, on our website, and
stay tuned for the shop.
Hopefully at this point we might have the shop open, but if not, keep your eyes out. So until next week, we hope you guys have a good week. See you later.